throughout the season with our official NBA Today changes. And you will earn double.
The always busy and popular East 4th Street here in Cleveland. Our setting today is just at the end of that block. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. D.A., take it away.
Well, Kevin Love has dramatically improved his perimeter shooting over his career, but he said, I've tried not to fall in love with it too much. Where I'm going to make my money is also rebounding. That's a stat I always look at because it can help a team win even when the shot's not falling. Kevin?
Great attitude. His work inside, a big part of the DA. Thanks. And our early season power rankings, of course, a lot should change over the course of the year, but this is where we stand now. They're still riding with the middle of the pack, but trending upward.
And you know, right now for the Bulls, they're just right now outperforming those preseason predictions. And that's because they're getting help from some unlikely sources.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Porter and Markkanen, the duo at forward. Satoransky runs the point with Levine at the 2. And it's Carter in at the center. And for the Cavaliers, Ashman and Love are the forwards. Garland is out there with Clarkson. And it's Thompson in at the center position. And the Cavaliers this summer selecting point guard Darius Garland with the 5th overall pick. The second-year man, Colin Sexton, already on the roster. Greg, how do you see the fit between these two players?
Well, I mean, both are 6'2". The questions will come at the defensive end of the floor. Offensively, both show great promise as shooters, very scoring-minded guards, reminiscent possibly of a Lillard-McCollum pairing for the Blazers, which could be a roadmap for the Cavs.
And so it's the Cavaliers getting on the board first. Here's Levine. Second chance shot. Porter trying to free himself up. And now the fast break. Garland with the ball. That one misses. Now Chicago takes it the other way. This their first chance this season playing the Cavaliers.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, you know, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
Now here is Carter. They really needed more from him in that loss to New York. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Porter. And the Bulls with another miss.
You expect him to make that, especially from that distance. Well, the former Georgetown Hoya, Otto Porter, was on the move last season. Traded at the deadline to Chicago, who are in need of a player like Porter who can shoot from outside.
And that one, good.
Known for his range, then also the length at the rim, but Porter showing us he can do it in the mid-range.
Now, here's Garland. Back to Love. Shoots the 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Smitty, as you mentioned, the need for shooters was something that brought Porter here.
And Porter has been a consistently good shooter, something he's worked on over his career, Kevin. He's young and appears to be a perfect fit for what this team wants to do in the future.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
That's a big-time move and a big-time finish.
Now, here's Clarkson. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And when you're a guy who plays with great finishers like Thompson has, you have to learn how to distribute.
They time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2 for 1.
And that's how you want to end the quarters.
Satoransky looking around. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
Here's Osman. His last outing, he had 8 points. Back to Thompson. Pass to Osman. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. 7 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Here's White. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. And playing at the center as opposed to his customary power.
The adjustment for me has just...
The league in general, GA, going smaller. Love finding himself more and more, moving up to the 5.
Yeah, he can certainly rebound at that position, and his perimeter shooting at the 5 makes him a tough cover.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, they were very physical and very aggressive. They've just been the better team so far.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. Inside, it's Young and Markkanen. White is out there with Chris Dunn. And it's Porter at the 3 slot. And there's the bucket from Markkanen. Pretty much everyone is working on his range now in the NBA, Steve. Which big man has benefited the most from adding that deep ball to what he does?
I think some of the big men have benefited from it. Kevin, Brook Lopez, Marc Gasol, Blake Griffin for sure, Al Horford. So many guys are doing it. It also creates years on your basketball shelf life.
Yeah, I think about Brook Lopez with Milwaukee, what he did in Game 1 in that Eastern Conference Series against Toronto. He was terrific and led him to a Game 1 win.
Totally agree.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Chicago Bulls continue to be a team in rebuild mode. They traded for Otto Porter at the deadline last season, and that seemed like a turning point. It lessened the logjam in the front court, and his versatile game fit well with some of the young players. Now that they've added rookie Kobe White with other moves this summer, fans are eager to see this young team take the next step. Kevin?
And David, they've got some pieces too. Thank you.
The athleticism and blinding speed White possesses is impressive. This guy plays with a lot of moxie.
Henson checked in for Cleveland. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Cornette's checked in.
And the Bulls had Boylan step in as an interim coach last season, Smitty, but decided to give him the keys to the car this year as well.
A surprise move as Boylan immediately was at odds with the players. Management sided with the coach. Interesting message to send to a young team looking to develop.
Henson's shot is off.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him. This offense just continues to impress.
The Cavaliers trail by 8. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Dunn looking over the floor. Softly drops in the floater. Dunn's got the lead up to 8 now for the Bulls.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Clarkson against White. Now Clarkson, he's got 9. So the wing on the left. 1 second left. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's the Chicago Bulls in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sport.
And now, the team is looking for.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Cleveland?
Well, they need to generate more points in the paint. The defense knew all along that they were going to shoot that jump shot every time down the court. There was no diversity in their offense. No one was able to figure out different things that they were doing. Very predictable offense. And I think...
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. You got to like what Jordan Clarkson has done in this game.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
This is his challenge, to continue to dominate, to help them try to close strong here in the second half.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. The Bulls leading by 8.
One criticism of Jim Boylan before getting extended was his offense, called too slow and too methodical. He addressed that this offseason by getting a top assistant to redesign the offense.
The duo inside, Love and Thompson. Clarkson is the 2 with Osman the 3. And it's Garland in at the point. And that's the group for John Beilein as we begin the second half. Clarkson kicks to Garland. 4 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, kept alive. Another shot. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Thompson.
The unbelievable effort. Thompson, a dedicated warrior on the offensive glass.
Saturansky the pass to Porter. From 11 feet away. That one a little long. And Steve, for Boylan, a first-time head coach, a smart move to shore up his staff, though.
We see a lot of coaches now hire a specialist assistant coach to delegate part of that game to. Lets guys like Boylan focus on player development and defense.
Here's Osman. Here's Thompson. Count it. Thompson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Refining his skill set inside, you see the work Thompson's putting into his game.
Clarkson against Levine. Thompson with the rebound.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
The rim protection at its finest. The result is the same whether you block the shot or simply change it.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, there's not a lot of NBA players who come from Finland. Now there's Lauri Markkanen. Before him, there was Hanno Matala, who was actually Lauri's high school coach. Markkanen is soft-spoken and family-focused, but he says everything starts from basketball. All the decisions I make are based on if it helps me on the basketball court. Kevin?
Terrific attitude. David, thanks. Here's Clarkson. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
That's a well-timed, well-coordinated play. Comes right off the pick for the lay-in.
Markkanen kicks to Levine. With the teardrop. Good D from Love.
His inability to make shots has not brought this team down. That shows you their resourcefulness.
And so Levine will bring it up now for Chicago. They've led by as much as 10. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
Otto Porter's a good bet to make that shot. It's a play you can run for him time and time again.
Here's Love. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Chicago in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. White and Levine on the wing. Young and Carter are the big men inside. And it's done in at the point guard.
This is the one thing you can count on from Kevin Love. He's going to stay active in the lane.
Dunn passes to Carter. Kicks it to Levine. And he gets it to go. And the Bulls lead by 9.
Terrific play. This is why you run your offense through him and live with the results.
And there's the pass to Love. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Thaddeus Young.
Kevin Love was a star at a young age, but he was traded. But he's made the most of it. He's an NBA champion right now.
shots. Relax on the first.
That free throw good from Kevin Love. And he can't hit the second. The Bulls leading by 8. And here's Levine. And Levine with the slam.
The creativity, extreme athleticism. You see why Zach's won the dunk contest multiple times.
Pass to Love. With the fadeaway. Bullseye. 1:49 left here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Levine. There's the pass to Young. The shot misses. Good D by Thompson. The Cavaliers trail by 8. Osman. It's hauled in by Dunn.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
You know, to me, this is when you want to focus on creating for others. Give someone else a chance. It's called a teammate.
Sexton with it. He's against Young. The shot by Sexton, no good.
He looked just a little out of rhythm. He's still trying to establish consistency from there.
White the pass to Levine. Here's White. Passes to Levine. 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter. He can't hit that time. Osman, the pass to Love. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. White looking around.
Get there.
And it's Osman with the rebound. They can score it here, but it won't mean much.
Kevin, turn out the lights. This party's over.
It might be. Love finds Thompson. Here's Garland. Cleveland gets it back.
The ability to finish under pressure, that's something K-Love brings to the table.
So the Bulls win it. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
And that's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building